perfect English.
Oh, sorry. I heard different things.
So Bo is afraid.
No, but yeah. Speaking of things that don't make sense but scar you for life, Bo is the worst movie that I've ever seen. I couldn't tell you more. I couldn't get. Man, I cannot beat this into the ground enough.
But 3 hours?
3 hours. So it was almost like when they were making it, they're like, dude, let's make it real long. So they're really pissed off when they walk out.
I bet you they were like, if we make it super long, it'll give it the illusion of like an epic or like a really good movie, because only like super good epic movies are 3 hours long.
Yeah.
Kind of like if you have a product and you just make it super expensive, it gives it the illusion of being what's called high quality or whatever.
Yeah. Like, did you know that
That's why they do that. Sorry, not to cut. Yeah. That's why they do that with like seminars and fake classes and all that bullshit. They'll make it like $7,000 because you're like, oh, it must be really worth it if they're charging that amount of money for it, and it's not. It's a complete scam. It's just an illusion.
But that's with anything. That's why they charge $7,000. Okay, all right. You know what? Case in point, Yeezys. You take a guy who's not some big designer. He didn't come from Paris. That built this like brand that was so amazing, and now you can consider it like what is that called, like Gucci and all that, like designer and stuff. And he's like, you know what? He's like, no, I don't want my shoes to be cheap. I want the Yeezys to be $700. And now you got every idiot buying those left and right.
Yes.
Balenciaga buying big, ugly, worn shoes already for thousands of dollars for status.
For status. It's not even for the quality of the product. It's just for clout and clout alone. It's so disgusting.
We're disgusting. We really are, man. But is that an American thing, or is that just a first world country thing? Because I'm sure Europeans do the same.
That's a human being thing. The only difference between here and anywhere else is they don't have the option to do it. But if they did, they would follow suit all just the same. Like other countries and other like poor places like to look at us and go, oh, that's disgusting. Look at all that waste. Look at like how they live. They're American pigs and all that shit. Dude, if I gave you the same opportunity, you'd be the exact same way. The only difference is it's not there.
Yeah.
I swear to God. It's like, whenever I meet a guy, this is going to sound fucked up. Whenever I meet a guy who's like, oh, I would never cheat on my wife, or I've always been faithful, whatever, I always look at him and it's always a dog, an ugly motherfucker. And I'm like, dude, if I gave you the ability to be like rich, famous, and good looking, and you just had girls coming to your door every day, basically, virtue untested is no virtue at all. I'll just sum it up that way. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
If you don't have the temptation of doing that, it's easy to judge it from a distance. But until you're in the environment... But also, it's like, wouldn't it be better off if you're in this type of environment and then you use your power of like discipline and, like evolution, things like that to resist those baser qualities and become a greater person? Like, you evolve better if you have the temptation, then resist it. Then you just have the theory of the philosophy and never have to actually prove it.
Exercise that loyalty and that strength of not doing it. Well,
it's like when MMA came around, there was all those fake kung fu artists and karate teachers, and everyone did like, whatever. Yeah. Oh, and our techniques are so dangerous, you can't use them outside of the dojo because they'll kill people. And then what happened? Like, MMA came around, and those fake martial artists who actually, they didn't even know their shit didn't work because they just believed in it and they never got to try it. Then they got punched in the face by MMA fighters and choked out like that, like the old guy that you were telling me about.
Well, that's what happens when you got an entire forget even like a room full. You got an entire dojo full of yes men that are like, he's the kung fu master. Yeah. He's been training.
And when the sensei grabs him, they throw themselves like 20 feet across the room and all that.
That's how you get a Steven Seagal, bro.
Yes.
Everybody just runs in, punches, and then rolls themselves. Well, when tested with actual strength, you take. Not some like super heavy hitter. It's just some random dude that's trained mixed martial arts, and he beat the dog shit out of a kung fu master, bro.
Wasn't that like 10 years ago or something like this? What was it?
It's one of my favorite videos.
So the guy was like, I don't know if he was like a Shaolin kung fu master or whatever. He was like this high level kung fu master that everyone respected, like old guy, sensei shit. Like what was he, like 70?
Yeah.
And he goes in there with a regular MMA fighter, dude. And he's doing like his stances, like being all badass and all that stuff, and like trying to throw chi.
Yeah, he was trying to hit him with a chi ball. He did. He went like this, and then the dude just runs up and just like gives him a nice,
just knuckled him.
Yeah, just nice right hook. And what's so funny though, dude? What was so funny though is afterwards, like you see all his guys, and it was just like a Jet Li movie. All his guys are like, oh, and they're all crying and stuff, picking him up,
dusting him off.
Yeah, dusting him off. And he gets up, and his excuse was that something was off that day.
Yeah,
I agree. Something was off that day. Your ability,
your headgear,
exactly.
It was off that
you know
day.
What I mean?
Your ability,
and the key comes up with some spiritual excuse of why he just got beat the dog shit out of. I was so good.
I bet you that guy's martial art was like 10,000 years old of just like passing it generation after generation, lineage for days, and he got thwarted by a good old fashioned punch in the face.
Yeah. think about this. He was
the first move ever created by mankind.
When they came with him, like all his guys came running up and they came with him to the challenge, and he's holding this stick and he's balancing himself on the stick, right? And he's sitting there and they go, "We have a fight," right? And you know what, man? If I was there, if I was in the dojo, I would have been able to tell him. I would have been, "Hey, man, that's pretty cool that you could balance yourself on the stick, but that guy punches really hard. Like, how's that going to help?"
He's on one finger on the stick upside down. He does 6 flips off of it and lands perfectly on one toe. Yeah, and then gets punched in the face right
that
after.
That guy still punches really, really hard. Like, what are you going to do with that? Like, are you going to bring the stick with you? Like, because that guy hits really hard. I could have been the voice of reason and all this. I could have brought logic to the conversation, but instead this dude comes out, man, and he's doing his thing. He's like doing his like his dances and stuff, and that dude runs in this clock. And I'm telling you, he wasn't even like a really good fighter. He's just like has the base level martial arts, and he comes running and just fucking bam. He's like, "This all, man.
I made you a sandwich."
Dude, it was so funny because it was just that old adage that everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face, and that was it. That was just it in a nutshell.
You're right, though. The students were like, after I got clocked.
He's hitting master. And they're all looking around praying that some fucking monkey god comes down and like strikes it. Like that it never happens,
I felt bad, though, because you could tell when the old man got clocked in the face. Like, first of all, you don't ever want to hit an old guy at all. It's not like he didn't hit him with all of his might, but it was good enough. But he went down. He was disoriented. Like, he just looked fucked up about it.
Okay, you know what? I didn't feel bad, and let me explain why, okay? Because he's been lying to himself for even longer than he's been lying to everybody in that room that believed in him.
But he also got lied to, and then his parents before him got lied to, and every fucking student before him got lied to, and it was generational lies.
Yeah, But dude, when he stood up and he gave the interview after, he's like, "Oh, something was off. I didn't have there was some spirit in me that was moved and something." It was like, dude, get out of here, man. It's so stupid.
The spirit of no defense.
Yes. But that was honestly, it was one of my favorite videos because it was kind of like everything just came crashing down, like reason and understanding that, okay, that shit is bullshit. And now
But I almost don't. I understand how the old guy, after he got cracked in the face, started making up all the lies about demons and all that shit or whatever. Because when you believe something wholeheartedly your entire life and it gets challenged to that degree, you have an identity crisis. We've talked about this before. Yeah. Like Canelo had to get a therapist after losing to Bivol because you build this image up about like what you believe in your head.
Lose.
Yeah. So like for that to be wrong, you dedicated your entire life to this belief system and teaching people this, and like it gave you all your pride and all your, you know what I mean? Everything that you felt about yourself is all a lie. Yeah. It's hard. And if you're 90 and you've gone through all of life that way, it's going to be really hard to change directions all at once.
90, but we're all laughing because this young 27-year-old MMA dude just coming across his head.
He turns into dust.
Dude, it was funny. The shit out of him. MMA guy was all like, yeah, when the fight was done. He's like throwing his hands in the air like he was just named champion.
He does that thing you do on Call of Duty where you start teabagging.
He gets at him and starts riding him like a fucking
horse. He starts doing
like,
Fortnite dances. He's like,
he walks over in front of his whole guys, pulls his penis out and just starts urinating on their master. He's like, "I got your master here.
You got rocks. Yeah, you got rocks, son.
Where's your god now? Yeah." He just starts doing flips. Dude, that'd be so funny.
Night, Grandpa. Yeah. Night.
You're gonna need the Great Wall of China to block me, son. Bam! Hits him again.
I call this the retirement home.
Gives him an elbow on the ground.
It's so uncomfortable to watch those fake karate guys, though. It's cringy as shit.
Yeah.
You know who the worst ones are? Have you ever seen like the guys that train like knife defense?
Yes, the black
dude, the knife defense guys. Wait, what's his face? Doug Machida or something like this, dude. Watch Doug Machida. The best is in the thumbnails. It'll be like some guy. He has like his arm trapped in like the blade by his neck.
I know Machida.
And he's like looking all serious, dude. He's just like, he's like, I got this.
Yeah,
it's impossible.
Doug Machida. He was on the Blade show or whatever. You're right, dude.
Yeah, he's one of the worst ones. The karambit knife defense guys. Exactly. It's hysterical to me, man.
No, but what about the women cops that are like, okay, so you back your seat up, you take your seatbelt, you go like this, you roll your window down. This bitch had a window that she rolled like this.
She had an old school window.
Yes. What car are you driving? What, a 96 like Odyssey? Like some weird minivan? What are you driving that I can go like this? Are you kidding kidding me?
self-defense for only if you could go back in time.
You know what? Honestly,
Oh
you
my
want a
God.
self-defense class? Go take a real self-defense class. The reason why I don't care about
Guys.
the old man or Doug McCheat or anything, because they're gonna get people hurt.
That's what bothers me about it, is that I'm like, you're out here like a guru and shit like that, teaching people self-defense. It's going to give them false confidence. And not only they're going to lose, they're going to get wrecked.
Yeah.
Dude, boxing, kickboxing, and jiu-jitsu and American wrestling.
Yeah.
Judo works too if you're good at judo, but honestly, like, dude, American wrestling and kickboxing, and you're like the best motherfucker on earth. That's like 90% of it.
There was a,
And I'm a pure boxing enthusiast, and I'm like, dude, wrestling and kickboxing.
there was a rape prevention class that taught women. They would say it's heavy, but they would put bricks in their purses, and they would have them walking around with bricks in their purses all day.
I'm sure that's sexy on heels.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But I honestly, it's like, what's a 115-pound chick gonna do with a big brick in her bag? Come over. She couldn't even lift it up. I grabbed the bag before she could even get it. I pushed it down. I'm just joking. I'm probably gonna get raped.
I grabbed the bag. I just watched Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
No, but that's a nice ski
No,
mask.
but that's a nice ski mask though, and the family just loves him, you know?
So she'll go to swing the bag and like throw herself off her feet.
Dude, it would hit.
And she lands on her back in rape me position.
She would go to
It's
swing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It would like hit his back and like push it right
knocks
against
her
the
out
wall.
cold.
And now you got her like a good grip on her, you know?
She falls with her leg up.
Just
dude.
logical.
my
And you know
God,
what,
dude.
man? Honestly, like there was a couple of them. Did you know that they scream? And that you watched Seven the other day. They scream fire instead of rape.
I saw that.
More people are likely to respond to fire than rape.
Yes.
Because it's like people don't want to get involved in anybody's bullshit.
True.
And I know that's fucked up. And I'm not saying, but I'm saying if I go around the corner and some girl's screaming rape from her boyfriend that she's been together with the last 6 years, and they're fighting because he just checked out some chick in the club, and I get stabbed in the neck because
By
this
Doug
girl,
Machida.
yeah, exactly. Doug Machida's girl slaps the shit out of her and stabs me, you know. But that's why I think it's the whole point of like not wanting to get involved in people's business. Most people don't. The majority don't want to get involved in other people's bullshit, especially fights and stuff like that. So when you hear rape, honestly, it'd be nice if everybody immediately went running and everybody was a hero and stuff like that. But fire, you're like, okay, everybody can agree fire sucks, so let me go over there.
Well, now,
you know what I mean?
because you want to see a fire.
Yeah.
Even if you're not going to do anything about it, you're curious to go look at a fire. Everyone's going to look at a fire just like a car accident.
Even the guy who starts it, the arsonist is most likely to stand there and watch his work.
Otherwise, why do it? But
why do it?
Now I'm going to be devil's advocate here. So that was a line in the movie Seven.
Yeah.
So that could either be true, or it's just a line in the movie Seven, and they
Let me
don't
tell you
train people to do
something,
that
okay?
at all.
Let me challenge that with another challenge.
Man,
Okay.
see?
All right. That was Morgan Freeman. You
So-
believe everything Morgan Freeman says. Okay. You hear that fucking voice?
And I wish
More people are likely to come. I can't do it, but you know what I mean.
I wish I could say that I fought off the system, or that he
fought
off
the
system.
good fight that day. I wish I could say Andy knew better.
Dude, Morgan Freeman, though, how great was he? I watched Seven for the first time a couple of days ago. I know. I should have watched it sooner. And by the way, phenomenal movie. I was really wrong for missing that one.
Wait, that was the first time you ever watched that?
Yeah, and I didn't even know that it was David Fincher that directed it. And he's one of my favorite directors. Fight Club,
What's
baby.
in the box?
Fight Club. Yeah, but I also already knew the ending, so it kind of took that away from me. But it was still a phenomenal
sucks,
movie. Yeah, well, I
dude.
mean, it was so famous when it came out. Everyone was talking about
I
it.
got to watch it without knowing the ending. So when that box, because it's a funny, and like now when you watch it multiple times, you you start picking up stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When he walked up and he was covered in his blood, he looks at Brad Pitt. He's like, I know you. Basically, it's like, dude, I just lived your life for a few days.
Yeah.
You know, and oh, it was so good, man.
Well, the best was I haven't seen Morgan Freeman in like a lead role like that where he's in the whole movie in a long time, because he's older now, so he just does like a lot of bit roles, and he's always amazing no matter what he does. But I went back and watched Seven, and dude, I forgot how fucking tremendous of an actor he is.
Dreamcatcher.
Dude, phenomenal.
Yeah.
That dude, Bone Collector. Was that Morgan Freeman?
Kiss the Girls.
That was Morgan Freeman. Yes,
it
dude.
was.
Phenomenal actor. It was such a pleasure to watch him. Just what a class act. What a smart, put together, interesting, charismatic guy, man. No gimmicks or tricks. Just a great actor. Respectable dude, too.
Yeah, he's the best. He really is, man.
He really is. I love him.
I don't think there's he's another one that I don't think, even if he put out a stinker, it's not going to tarnish his career whatsoever. It's Morgan Freeman. He's a great guy.
And even still, the movie might suck, but he'll still be great. He's one of those.
Yeah.
Where it's like everything sucked except for what Morgan Freeman did in the movie.
Exactly.
So